Hello YouTube, this is Bub's Comics coming at you with a quick comic haul. We're going to get into it today. We've got a mix, we got a little bit of DC, we got a little bit of Marvel, and we got a ton of independent, so let's get right to it. Let's make me small and get to the haul. Whoa! Alright, today is going to be a haul from mycomicshop.com. As many of you know, that is my absolute favorite place to get comics of anywhere. I enjoy going to conventions for sure. I enjoy hunting in the wild, especially in back issue heavy shops. But when it comes to just one place to get it all, mycomicshop.com gets my seal of approval. Maybe someday they'll pay me for saying so. First up, I've been collecting these DC Bombshell variants. So this one is Aquaman number 32. The nice mirror on the cover. Very cool. The Scenic Ocean Highway. Sunken Coast and Route. Very cool. All of her little shoes. Look at that. She's holding the trident. She got the M in her belt for Mira. I mean, what's not to like about that? Her hat's blowing in the wind. That's a keeper. Very pleased with that. I'm not collecting all of them, as I've said in a previous video, but I am collecting the ones that I just really like. So next up, here's a couple of books that have been on my list for a while. I kept missing them in auctions. I kept losing to other people in auctions because my price just was at that point where it would be a good deal, but anything more, and I was just like, nope, let it go, and I'll wait for it to come around. And it's Batman number 323. It's kind of a reintroduction with Catwoman coming back, if you will, after not being in the title for a while. So, very cool. I think it's Dick Giordano. Look at that. I love that. Shadow of the Cat. Now, actually, she, I think, returns in issue 322, which is just prior to this, which has, I think, a Catman cover. But I do prefer this one, of course, with Catwoman on the cover. I just think that's great. Love that outfit for her. And I thought she looked good in a cape. Look at that. Good stuff. And then we have the next issue, which is probably more recognizable. And that's this one, Batman 324. Where he's like, so in this one she's attacking him, and this one looks more like he's rescuing her. But look at that flop out. Call that a flop out cover. Boom. Just flopped out. That's amazing. That is some fantastic art. Pretty sure that's Jim Aparo doing the art on this. Every now and then what I say isn't correct. But what I put as a full disclaimer, but what I put on the screen, that is research. So sometimes I'll say a cover is by a certain artist or a certain year or something like that, and if it's wrong, then the little notation that I put on the screen will correct me. So isn't that great? Oh, I just love that. What a classic look. Very good. This next one is a book I have picked up and put this book down so many times. One time I bought it in a slab. I liked it so well, and then I got hot and cold on it. Finally found a copy that was unique enough for me to pull the trigger, and that's Daredevil number 164. And the reason behind this pickup, other than that it's cool, it's got some good Wallywood ink on there, and I think it's Frank Miller. I think it's Frank Miller pencils on Wallywood ink, so that's pretty good. And it's Pence copy. Now, I'm not huge on Pence copies, which means it came from overseas. I'm not huge on them. I prefer a Pence stamp, where it was made here, shipped over there, and stamped for sale with a new price, and then somehow made it back over here. So I do prefer that, but I'll take a Pence copy. It was actually in a pretty fair price for this, so I was very happy with that. Check that out. All right. Next, we have Liberty Meadows, number, whatever this number is. I forget what it is. But bing, it'll say up there. Liberty Meadows, this is I think it's 21 maybe? I don't know, I'm guessing. This is I don't know if it's the only cover that Frank Cho didn't do, but it might be. I know that he did most of the covers, but this one is done by Adam Hughes. So it's got the usual cast of characters for Liberty Meadows. And she is reading a book on Mouth to Mouth for Dummies for a swimming and safety instructor, and that's Brandy, that's her name. So you see, of course, the guy back there spraying his mouth with, Banaka or whatever. And then you see all these people kind of lining up to see what's going on. So she's going to give him mouth to mouth. How about that? So very cool. It's nice to see Adam Hughes' take on Frank Cho's property. Next, we got a little bit of independent coming up. We got Chassis number 2 with the nice Rick Buckler Jr. cover. Look at that. Holy cow. This cover rivals any of my Adam Hughes stuff for sure. It is close. What can be said about this that isn't evident? Great facial expression. You really get a sense of the wind in her hair. She's got this classic kind of cat suit zip up. Look at that Tommy gun. This might be my... I think I have a couple of Dick Tracy comics that have a Tommy gun on it, but this is definitely one of my favorite Tommy gun covers in my collection. The gun there. Looking really sharp. That's just fantastic. This is how you do it. Everybody take notes. If you're going to do good girl art, this is what we're looking for. Interesting, more realistic waistline. Proportions look right. That's fantastic. So chassis number 2. Still looking for chassis number 1, which I do believe is an Adam Hughes cover. Donnie Jupiter's Cartoon Land, and this is from Don Marquez. So I think he does the entire book is his, and he used to go by the moniker of Donnie Jupiter. So this is a painted cover. And I just like it. So you got these guys fishing. They got one hooked. And the sirens, the mermaids, are holding that back. So very cool. Nothing like a good painted cover there. I like that. Keeping it going. Now this is another Don Marquez book, but actually the cover is done by, I believe, Mark Schultz, whom I really enjoy. I love this cover. I mean, this book and the Chassis book, to me, are 2 of my favorite pickups this year so far, just for the covers. I mean, that is just... Alien Pig Farm 3000, this is number 2. It's a very short series. I think there's only 5 or 6 in the series, but I really just gravitated towards the first cover and the second cover, so that's what I'm sticking with on this one. You can see getting the blast going there. On the Ray, there's somebody else getting shot in the head, right? And look at the expression on both their faces. That's just fantastic. Mark Schultz absolutely knocking it out of the park on this one. Just a masterclass on some of these books. And then next up we have a couple of auction wins. Again, like I said, one of the things I like about mycomicshop.com is that you got auctions, you've got buy it nows, you have best offers, and they cross-list on eBay. So, I mean, what more can you ask for? So... I don't know which one to show first. I'll show this one first. So this is Barbarella, number 1. This is a 1 in 30 or something like that, retailer variant. I do believe. I could be wrong. This is the Dynamic Forces signed by Linsner. Or Linsner. I always put a D in there, but Linsner. Joseph Michael, I suppose. Very nice sketch cover. I'm not huge on sketch covers, especially when they kind of look like this, where they're not all the way sketched out. It's more like a subtraction of color, if you will. But I do like it. I like the gun on there, even though it's changed for the final version. So very cool. And signed with the COA. So I just like that. And, of course, not to be outdone, see, I didn't know which one I was going to get, so I bid on both, and I ended up getting both very fairly. And this is another Linsner. Same book, but the colorized version. So, You can see the gun has changed on that one. Barbarella looks better than Jane Fonda in this. If you guys never seen that movie, you haven't missed a whole lot. And this comes from a sci-fi guy. It's pretty campy, it's pretty rough, but if you like it, you like it. Look at that. That's the thumbnail right there. Oh, if YouTube would let us get away with it. Looking good. Alright, well that's my haul. Hope you all appreciate that. And we'll catch you next time on BUB'S Comics. Remember, let's see. Let's take a look at Catwoman again. Remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.